Our Old Testament reading this morning comes from 1 Samuel chapter 4, and we begin our reading at verse 12. A man from the tribe of Benjamin ran all the way from the battlefield to Shiloh and arrived there the same day. To show his grief, he had torn his clothes and put earth on his head. Eli, who was very anxious about the covenant box, was sitting on a seat beside the road, staring. The man spread the news throughout the town, and everyone cried out in fear. Eli heard the noise and asked, "What is all this about?" The man hurried to Eli to tell him the news. Eli was now 98 years old and almost completely blind. The man said, "I have escaped from the battle and have run all the way here today." Eli asked him, "What happened, my son?" The messenger answered, "Israel ran away from the Philistines. It was a terrible defeat for us. Besides that, your sons Hophni and Phinehas were killed, and God's covenant box has been captured." When the man mentioned the covenant box, Eli fell backwards from his seat beside the gate. He was so old and fat that the fall broke his neck, and he died. He had been a leader in Israel for 40 years. Eli's daughter-in-law, the wife of Phinehas, was pregnant, and it was almost time for her baby to be born. When she heard that God's covenant box had been captured and that her father-in-law and her husband were dead, she suddenly went into labour and gave birth. As she was dying, the women helping her said to her, "Be brave, you have a son." But she paid no attention and did not answer. She named the boy Ichabod, explaining, "God's glory has left Israel," referring to the capture of the covenant box and the death of her father-in-law and her husband. God's glory has left Israel because God's covenant box has been captured.